Hi everyone, this is Sanjana from Mockat, where you get directly coached and mentored by 99.9 plus percentilers. Interview season is upon us. A lot of the results for IIMs and other top B schools are out, and now is the right time to prepare for the interviews. Just as the CAT score or the other exam score typically has the highest or maybe even 100% weightage for your shortlist, your personal interview score has the highest weightage for your final selection. It can be anywhere from 30 to 50%, and there are institutes where that's the only thing which they are looking at. So, this becomes the single most important thing for you now. Now, if you're competitive and you want to crack every interview call that you have, or maybe you're nervous, like the image out here, and you are not sure how you will perform, or maybe you just don't have an idea of what are all of the topics that you need to prepare for. In all of these cases, this is the right video for you because here I'm going to tell you all the four interview prep quadrants. What are the four must prep areas? And I'm going to delve into it with all of the topics and subtopics and give a lot of examples. So, if you prepare all of what's given out here, there's no way that you are not going to ace a majority of your interviews. So let's start off. Now, before we go into the prep quadrant itself, a couple of important things. First off, there are a lot of free resources that we've prepared for you. You can get a bunch of them on mockat.com as well as in a free VATPI Telegram group. I'll have both of these linked for you in the description and the first pinned comment. And make sure that you're joining the Telegram group because you'll have access to a lot of other resources, including the VATPI toolkits, must prep basics for finance, marketing, consulting, and so on, as well as multiple free sessions taken by Vignesh or me, where you can get an understanding of your VAT and interview and the other processes and directly interact with us and ask us questions. Along with this, also make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube channel because we have a lot of videos already and there are a bunch of videos that are slated to come up. Now, the second thing which you should know before we get into the prep quadrant is how do these MBA interviews work and what is it that the panel is looking for? Now, these interviews could be online or offline. Typically, you will have faculty members that are taking it, usually a couple, but sometimes you could have more. You can also have an alumnus from that B school who is there. There are one or two institutes where you could also have people from the industry, from the corporate world, but majority of the cases, you can expect to face faculty of that B school and maybe an alum. And what is it that the panel is expecting to see from you? What makes them decide that yes, you have it in you to be a good manager and you're a good fit for that B school? So, the first, of course, is your knowledge and your awareness. This is something which is a must. You have to answer not all, but quite a few of the questions that they are asking you. But along with this, and sometimes I can also say that these next three things are a little more important. How do you manage stress or tough situations? Now, this can be in the form of an out and out stress interview, but this can also be in more subtle ways. Like, how do you address a question which you maybe don't know the answer to, right? Are you making excuses or are you being honest and upfront about it, right? What if they have a view which is a little different from yours, or what if you're expected to defend a particular view? How are you dealing with questions like these? They're also expecting you to be ethical. Again, this can be tested in two ways. One way would be by asking you direct, situations where you could be given hypothetical scenarios and you're expected to give an answer, and then you can also have follow-up questions where you are justifying your view. This is a little more common in some of the interviews like SPGen, where you have an entire values-driven round two interview. But majority of the IIMs and other top B schools will have some of these hypothetical scenarios, and the faculty or the interviewers are also going to be watching you for these. For example, maybe inflating your performance. So let's say if you have good accounts, but you go and say that I was a class topper throughout, or something like that, or you just inflate the amount of work that you've done when you've maybe been part of a committee or at work or something like that. A lot of the times these are things which they would figure out. So definitely make sure that you are being honest. Yes, we're going to project our positives. We are going to talk more about our positives and what we've done and why we should be selected, but we don't want to inflate it. And the last thing, and I would say the most important, is your reasoning ability. A manager is not expected to know everything. And in this day and age, a lot of the things we can just find with a few keystrokes thanks to the internet. But you are expected to be able to utilize that information, be able to reason things out, and be able to have a view on this. Now, this is something which we will talk about in detail because, again, you could have specific questions like guesstimates or direct, puzzles which you are asked. But this is also something which can come up, with regards to your studies or current affairs. So I will discuss this throughout the video. And now let's start off with the prep quadrants. So these are your four must prep areas. The first is about yourself, and this is not just the tell me about yourself. There's a lot about you, your family, and so on that you've got to prepare for. The next is technical expertise. Again, not only for engineers or science graduates. This has to do with what you studied, where you're working, your general understanding, and management related learning. Again, we'll delve deep into it. A fixture in a lot of interviews, particularly the CAP interviews, will be current affairs and static GK. So this is again something that you've got to prepare for. And of course, the HR or the personal questions. And now let's delve into each of these. Starting with the about yourself. These are the key areas that you should look at, starting with your name. You should know things like, the meaning of your name, your middle name if you have any, and any details about your surname as well. Aside from the meaning, there's a lot more which they can ask, which is very specific to your name. So I'll give you a couple of examples. So let's say if your name is Arjun, right? Of course, you'll be expected to know about, the Arjun from the Mahabharata and, maybe a few associated details. But you could also be asked about, say, Mr. Arjun Singh or the Arjuna Award, or you could be asked questions around archery, right? So, what are the medals that India has won? Or who are the top archers? And think of like, Olympics, Commonwealth Games, Paralympics, and all of these. This can also go into the reasoning area where they could ask you, how can we get more medals around it? Or how would you get people to be more interested in archery and so on? So, definitely look a little bit wider. Another example, say your name is Indra, right? So if your name is Indira, of course, you can get asked by Indira Nooyi, who was the CEO of Pepsi. You could also be asked about Indira Banerjee, who was a Supreme Court justice. And from there, it can go into things like who are the current Supreme Court justices, what are, some of the key decisions which have happened, or, just your inputs on the judicial process. You can, of course, also be asked about Indira Gandhi, anything around politics, Congress, things like that could come up. So just think of, your name. One easy thing to do would be, you can just Google famous personalities with, followed by your name, know the meaning and things like that. And do the same thing for the surname. A lot of the times, your surname or your family name is something which you could ask about. And even if, you're from South India where you don't have a surname and it's just, maybe your father's name, you could be asked your view about, do you think it's good to not have a surname, and, things around the entire caste issues and stuff like that. Next, coming to your city and your state. So here, definitely, your hometown where you've grown up, as well as any other cities, maybe where you studied or where you're working, especially if you have moved around multiple cities, these would be the two or three to definitely focus, where you spend the majority of your time and your current city. But, if your parents have been traveling around because of work or for whatever reason, you've been in multiple different cities, make sure to do this research around all of them. Now, around your city, you could, of course, be asked, political questions like, who's your MP, how many constituencies, your local MLA. They won't ask you who you voted for, but there could be some related questions, especially if there are, newsworthy items, say if you're in Delhi, so the entire, the BJP versus AAP, everything which has happened with the Aam Aadmi Party over the last year or so, your CA and NRC, your farmers' protests, pollution, right? So all of these things, as well as, any major events which have happened. So you could get asked questions around this. Another thing which could get asked is history. So again, if it's Delhi, then you could get asked questions around how conquerors came, when people settle here, what are like certain maybe historical buildings, things like that. Say if you're from Bombay or Mumbai rather. So again, you could be asked about the history, all of the islands, how was it reclaimed, how it was a gift to the British, and things like that. Meanings of the name of the city or any history behind that name change, again something which definitely can come up. So these are things. And let's say if you're from something like the capital of the state, or you're from a state which where the state has been split, say like an AP into an AP and Telangana and things like that. So those are things you could be asked. Questions around union territories if you're from one, or if you are from somewhere which is closer to a union territory, or if you're from places like say Bangalore, right? So you could have something like a lot of tech companies or startups or things like that. This is something which again is not only for Bangalore but a lot of places, right? So what are maybe some of the major companies that are there, anything which has happened over the last year or two, anything for which the city is famous. So it can go into multiple directions. Or say if you're from Goa or Pondicherry, then again they can go into history about how somebody other than the British were there, how do you get independence. So all of these things could come up. You should also know a little bit about the geography, what are the major crops, rivers, any other geographical things of importance. And things can also go into a lighter note, like they could ask you something like, okay, if I'm coming to the city, what are like two or three things that you would places that you would recommend that I would visit. So just make sure that you're recommending maybe something of historical significance, or if there's some say some form of art, or some food or something that your city is popular for, or just anything of interest. So these are things which a lot of these you will know the answers. So these are lighter and more of icebreaker questions, or questions where you also will be more comfortable answering. But it's good to prepare so that you can have the answer pat as soon as they ask. You won't have these in every interview, of course, but you could have one or two where these come up. Another important thing which is around politics is if there are any ministers from your city or from your state that are, anybody, any politician who's a minister or who's in the cabinet or things like that, you could also be asked, chief minister, other ministers from your state, the population, the budget, what are some of the major industries, things like these. Now, coming to your school or your college, now aside from preparation, this can also be a time where you're highlighting it if you're from a fairly well-known school or college, maybe something which is in the, like an institute of eminence, or something which is highly ranked or things like that. Things to prepare for will include, how many students are there, who's the founder. If a lot of times, colleges are named after a famous personality, so make sure that you know that any newsworthy things which have happened, right, things like that. Could be something around, the board that you studied in, or, things around NEP, or, the education minister budget. If it's something a little bit more niche, then if you have, let's say, a medical background, then you could be asked questions around NEET and the entire issues which happened last year. Any famous students that have studied from there, anybody who's gone on to become, like, gone into the corporate world, or whatever it is, right? Any famous personality. So make sure that you know these as well. And last is hobbies and interests. Now, this is something which is very important. There are institutes like IIM Calcutta where they actually ask you this as part of your form, and we've had multiple students where the interview has largely centered around this. So it's important to give a lot of thought when you're answering these questions and put in preparation, right? It's going to be not just around the specifics of playing a particular sport or watching it, or an instrument or whatever it is, or reading a book, or having a favorite author. It's also having a view on it, knowing about, like, the recent events, anything business related and all of that, because this is your interest. So they would expect you to be interested in it and look at the larger picture. So I'll give you a few examples. Now, let's say if you play or you like to watch a particular sport, so what's happening around it? So if there's a World Cup or Olympics or anything like that, then who are the winners, who are some of the famous players, who's your favorite player and why. And then you can also be asked more specific questions. So if it's something which is watched a lot, then the business aspects of it, like, say, if you have leagues, right? So something like a football or a cricket or a basketball where you have these leagues, right? So you could be asked your favorite team or your favorite player, but you could also be expected to know how much your favorite player was purchased for, or how much were the broadcast rights sold for, or who were they sold to. Or you could be asked questions like, how do we make this sport more popular within India, or how do we ensure that more Indians are successful? How do we ensure that the women's aspect of this sport is also something which becomes popular, and things like that. So if your hobby is more around, like, the arts, right? So say you like singing or dancing or theater, or whether it's participating or watching. I'll start with my own hobby. So I love reading, for example, right? So if you have something like that, then have a favorite genre, favorite author, and be prepared for questions around that. And if you have like your favorite book or something like that, then make sure that you remember it, because a lot of the times the interviewer would also know about those books, and they might ask you certain questions. So again, I'll give an example. So a couple of my favorite authors are PG Woodhouse and J.K. Rowling. So PG Woodhouse, a lot of people would have read or heard about the Jeeves series. It's something which is set in Britain when they had the empire. So you could also get asked political or historical questions. You could be asked about other comedy authors and things like that. And J.K. Rowling, again, a very common thing which can get asked is, if you say my favorite books are the Harry Potter series, you could be asked about her other book series, or her how she has been inspired by ancient events or historical events or things like that. And you could definitely be asked about the pseudonyms under which she has written. A lot of the times, if you are mentioning a particular genre, then that also makes it more interesting. So something like a crime fiction or sci-fi, or murder mysteries or thrillers or something like that. And you can also talk about maybe some books which have been adapted into movies or series or something like that. This is becoming more and more common. A similar thing if you are interested in watching movies and shows. Again, think a little bit wider in terms of, like, if you're saying you like to watch movies or shows, you could be asked, particularly in India, things like Hollywood versus Bollywood, or regional movies or shows, or OTT. And again, you can look at the business aspects. You can know, let's say you have a particular show, make sure that who's produced it, the actors, any other shows or movies in that genre, by those directors and actors and things like that, and try to have, again, a critical view, right? You should be able to maybe critique a particular show, or be able to talk about the different characters and development and things like that. Now, another thing which you could be expected is if you are participating in these yourself. So, let's say if there's a particular sport that you like to play, then they could ask you about certain moves. Like in chess, you can be asked what's your opening gambit usually and things like that. Or if you say that you like to sing or dance or something like that, you can very well be asked to sing something for them, or show some hand gestures or something like that for dance. I don't think they'll ask you to dance, but some related, like mudras as we call it. So these are things which could come up. And please remember that this probably is the most important of all of these four, but all of these four are your must prep areas because, I mean, if you've lived in a city your entire life or if you really enjoy something, then you definitely should, have an idea of how India is doing, who are the players and things like that, maybe even part of the business aspects, right? And these are, of course, areas which will be quite interesting to you as well. So make sure that you put in the time to prepare. And in case if you have any questions for us, you're not exactly sure, maybe based on your name or anything in your profile, what could get asked, just put it in the comment or just, join the Telegram group and put a question there and we will address it for you. Now let's come to your technical expertise. Now, as I was saying, this is not just for engineers, right? We're not looking at technical that way. This is more about your relevant knowledge. So first off, of course, your academics. In case if you are still studying in college or it's been, about 18 months or less that you graduated, you can definitely expect academics to come up. So I'll give you some examples of areas that you should prepare for depending on, whether you have an engineering background or maybe a commerce background or economics or maths or maybe something on the humanities front. Now, if you have some amount of work experience, you can prepare more on the work experience front. I'll come to that soon. But make sure that the basics are things which you should know. So if you have a commerce background, for example, financial statements, balance sheets, ratios, these are definitely things which you should know, even if your work is something which is completely unrelated. Similarly, if you are an engineer, then again, depending on what your specialization is, some of the basics like say history of computers or specific languages or microcontrollers or microprocessors or say something like how an automobile works, these are things which you would definitely be expected to know even if you graduated sometime back. Now, one more thing which comes up in a lot of interviews, irrespective of what your background is logical or math related questions. So you could get questions around probability or permutation combination, questions around logarithm, around graphs. You can also get certain puzzles or guesstimates, or not the riddle type, but like genuine logical puzzles or guesstimates. So these are things which you should definitely prepare for. Now, if you are in college or you've recently graduated, one thing which you can do is again just use the internet to help you. Just Google common interview questions for computer science engineers, mechanical engineers, doctors, whatever it is, and make sure that you're well prepared. And you can also pick one or two favorite subjects. Make sure that these are core subjects that you know about. Now coming to work experience. So work experience again, I would split it into three parts. So first is the technical aspect. So say if you're working in tech or in coding or say in analytics, then you should of course know about the tools that you're using, the languages, things like that. Second would be details about your company and your sector. So again, I'll continue with the tech example. So you should know, your company's revenue, what's the share price if they are listed, who are maybe, some of the top clients, if you are managing clients or, you are working on supporting a couple of clients, make sure you know about them, similarly their revenue, share price, your company's headquarters, your clients headquarters, who are the top competitors for both your company and your clients. And it's good to also do a SWOT, particularly of your company and the sector. Aside from that, anything on the the business or the economic side, so anything in the budget and things like that. So say for example on the tech front, services is one of India's top exports, so you can have an idea about what the amount is and so on. Similarly, if you are from a commerce background, you should know about obviously things like accounting rules and principles, the economic side, micro numbers, so interest rates, inflation, GDP, things like these, and any companies that have been in the news, whether for positive reasons, so say things like IPOs, or negative reasons like say the Adani group, or the issues around stock exchanges, any SEBI regulations, things like these. The third aspect with respect to work experience will be the softer aspects around how you work. So being a manager, as I was explaining, typically it's something which you do in a team, or you might be leading a team, or you might be interacting with other people. So the same thing could be true in your current work. So you could be working within a team. What is it that you have done? Is there any additional initiative that you've taken? If you're leading a team, so things like that. Maybe there are certain things like client presentations, or any form of interaction, interacting with the senior management in your team. Maybe there's somebody that's inspired you. Maybe there's some difficult challenge that you've taken up, or maybe your boss was on leave for a week and you put your hand up saying, I'll manage. So things like these could come up as part of the HR questions as well. And these are great ways to highlight what you've done and why you would be a good fit for this B school and why you would be a good manager. So definitely make sure that you're practicing these, and think of the different questions where you can bring them out. So for example, if you yourself have volunteered for a particular initiative, that's something which can come up in a strength, where you can say that along with my work, I always like to take up more so that I can learn and I can deliver. It's also something which you can answer if they ask you specifically, when have you displayed signs of leadership, or how do you work in a team, or when you faced a challenge, or depending on what the project is, you can also bring it out in other questions, like when you displayed creativity or problem solving or something like that. Have positives and also have one or two examples of failures. Again, I'll talk more about this in the HR questions. Now, do a bit of sector specific research for the area that you have studied, where you're working, as well as any clients that you have, but particularly focusing on your studies and your work. So again, like the example which I gave, if you're from the tech background, know about the industry itself, who are the top companies, how much are our exports, what is our total revenue, what are maybe any guidelines which are there, or things like production linked initiatives if relevant. So things like these would become very important. And last thing, where you want to show your awareness, is the management discipline. So this would mean knowing the basic concepts around finance, marketing, operations, HR, IT, and so on. And you can also have some idea about consulting, especially if you're saying that you're interested in any of these. Now, this again becomes important in institutes like say SPGen, where you have chosen your specialization, or the Symbiosis institutes, or if you are opting for like a specific, say an XLRI HR, or an IIM Bangalore business analytics specialization. But even other than that, if you are saying that I'm interested in marketing, or I'm interested in finance, or I want to become a consultant, make sure that you know about this specialization or this area. You know the basic concepts, some of the top companies, the top products, what are the revenues, and things like these. And two places where you can find a lot of help for this: one is our own YouTube channel, where we have videos on finance and marketing and economics, and we're coming up with more videos. And second is the VAT-PI toolkits, particularly the IIM VAT-PI toolkits will give you a breakdown of all of these areas, and you can use that to start your prep. Now, the third quadrant might be something which you are a little nervous about, or maybe you very recently started preparation. So I'm not delving deep into it, because I have a very specific video on what are the relevant current affairs topic, which I've sort of divided by profile. So you can visit that. But make sure that you are doing at least a little bit of prep in all of these four areas. So news, anything which is of international importance, such as things around the UN, or wars and conflicts, things of national importance. Again, my earlier video also I've given the example of Viksit Bharat. Anything related to your state, anything newsworthy which has happened, in terms of corporates, or any famous personalities or politics, of course. Then you look at economics news which has come out, corporate information, interest rates, things like these. Anything which is relevant to you based on what you are studying or where you're working, any city or state that you're from. And it could also be relevant to that particular B school. So the city in which that B school is, or the state, there can definitely come questions like this. And static GK. Now, static GK, again, we of course won't be able to remember everything, but think of things which are relevant, right? Again, it could be related to your state or your work. A lot of times, not a lot of times, but sometimes our students have been asked, like, okay, so you've come from this city to our city, so how many states have you crossed? Or we had somebody and she was asked, how many rivers did you cross? So similarly, on the current affairs, last year one of our students, who's in one of the top three now, he was asked which are the FANG companies, had a tech background, and he was able to answer that. But that time, Netflix wasn't doing too well, so then he was asked, so which company do you think can replace out here, right? So I'm guessing the answer was Nvidia, because at that time Nvidia was doing really well. It was very close to beating Apple and being the number one by market cap, now one company by market cap. He couldn't think of it, but that's okay. There will be some questions that you can't answer, especially in this, because it's quite vast. But make sure that you prepare the basics. You know how to address questions which you don't know. Just straight up say, I'm really sorry, this is something which I don't know. Don't make excuses. And most important, remember that your view is going to be more important, because as managers, we don't need to memorize everything, but we need to have a view. Now, how do you get that? Now, one important resource, of course, is our Mockat news. We also have news videos on the site, but you can definitely register at Mockat and follow the 5 curated news articles. If you have time and you want to prepare more, then something like a national newspaper or news site, something on the business side like say an ET, and something international, right, say the Economist or Wall Street Journal, something like that, especially if you have a commerce background or you've been working, or for maybe you've been preparing for UPSC, and you obviously are expected to be a little more informed. So these are four things which you can do, for resources. Aside from this, within news, make sure that you are looking for opinion pieces, particularly editorials. Don't have a very biased, either a too rightist or a leftist view, but typically the editors are people who are smarter than you and me, and they would have like followed this topic or that area for a much longer time. So you can always go through those and have a view, right? Now they're not going to ask you who the prime minister of Israel is, though you should definitely know that it's Netanyahu, but they're more likely to ask you what is your view on Israel attacking Hamas and now attacking these other countries. Do you think India's standpoint is good? What else do you think the UN can do, and things like that. So make sure that you have a view as much as possible, especially by looking at experts. There are also a lot of news channels and YouTube channels that you can follow to get an idea. Make sure that you have an informed but a balanced view. Certain cases, of course, we will say that certain things are absolutely correct or absolutely wrong, like but a lot of places it's good to have a balanced view, particularly if it's something which you have recently started following and you might not be able to defend it if they ask you a lot of difficult questions. And the fourth quadrant is what is commonly called your HR questions. Now, HR questions tend to be of four types. One is personal questions. The most common, of course, is tell me about yourself, which is a must prep question. But they could also ask you, describe yourself in 3 words. How would your family or friends describe you? Tell us something which is not in your CV. Tell us why you would be a good fit for this B school, or why you would be a good manager. So things like these. You also have others like your advantages, skills, disadvantages, bunch of these. We have a detailed playlist on this, as well as a video on the most common HR questions. So I'll have that link for you in the description and the first pinned comment, and you'll also get it at the end of the video. Now, alongside some of these common questions which come up in majority of the interviews, you can also have situational questions where you get like a hypothetical scenario. Say something like you're working for a project and a couple of your team members are not working, or in your company you have this presentation and one person is not there in the last moment. What do you do? So things like that. And similarly, you could also get hypothetical ethical questions. Now, the ethical questions are not going to be like your very straightforward black and white. You can get something which is a little more complex, like say you are pitching to a client, and the person who's deciding tells you that you have to do this personal favor or pay a certain sum back to them, give them a kickback or whatever. And if you don't do this, then your entire team is going to lose their job, right? So it will be a little bit more complex. You will get a lot of these from the WATPI toolkits, which are there on our Telegram group. And if you have doubts about any of the questions, we'll be having detailed sessions around these. But these are again things to think through and prepare. Now, one more type of HR question will be relevant questions. Now, these will be questions which are relevant to you, such as maybe, any successes that you've had, any achievements, initiatives, what you have done, including any weaknesses, any failures, or any gaps that you have, right? So maybe your academics are a little low, or maybe there's a year gap that you have, or something like that. So these are all questions which are relevant to you. And you can also have questions which are relevant to that particular B school. So this can be, around the history of the B school, any famous alums, what are the courses which are there. Again, going through the Institute website is something which will help you a lot. Make sure you know the NIRF ranking, when this institute was established, what is it, particularly not exactly famous for, but around placements, what are the major companies which come, who are some of the famous, alums, the well-known alums who've graduated from this B school, or it can be on the business side as well as on the politics, sports, arts, things like these. Any famous founders of this B school, and you should also look at, what are the committees and clubs, other initiatives, and things like that. So this is what showcases your interest in this particular B school, because a lot of the times you can expect questions like what are all of the other calls that you have, where do we rank, why should we, so take my institute, right? I am Lucknow. So if you have ABCLKI interviews, right, a common question which you can get asked is, so where do we rank? And in a Lucknow, you can get asked, so why should we select you? If you get through ABC or any one of them, you'll obviously take it. Now, you to be honest out here, if you have a Lucknow interview or a Kozhikode or Indore or a CAP, you can't say that, this is my preferred institute. Even if I get through ABC, I won't join. But you'll obviously, be able to tell them that this is also an institute that I'm very keen to join. It's been there since, this many years. And, I know that you are particularly, focused on this area. You have, excellent faculty, case-based education. There are these other committee, 2 or 3 committees and clubs that I'm very keen to join. So this would be an honest way of answering, and yet you are telling them that yes, you really value this institute and you are interested, and you are demonstrating that by showing that you have researched the institute. So that's primarily it for this video. Remember that these are the main things which they are looking for in you. Who are you as a person? And this is something which you particularly demonstrate with your preparedness, respect that you're showcasing for them, your body language, your HR questions, and your answer to the technical sort of questions. They're also wanting to know what is it that you bring to the table, or what are your differentiators, why you would be a good manager, and are you a good fit for that particular B school? So if it is a B school which focuses a lot more on, say, marketing, and you go in and you tell them that I'm extremely keen on finance, of course it's something which is not going to work out. So make sure that you have researched the B school as well. So that's it for this video. So make sure that you start off your prep. There'll be a lot more videos here, as well as other free resources on mockcat.com and our Telegram group. And if you want to prepare with Mockcat for your VAT PI prep, I'll put that link for you in the description as well. You will have a lot of VAT, PI, GD, extempore workshops, as well as one-on-one feedback on your VAT, your forms, extempore, and multiple mock interviews by Vignesh, me, as well as our other alums who are from other top B schools. So all the best to you.